So Elon Musk stirred up a beehive. So as you may have heard by now, over the weekend he required that federal employees list 5 things they'd done the previous week, gotten accomplished, or if they didn't, they'd be considered having resigned their position. And everybody just freaked out over that. You can't do that. We're going to sue. We're going to sue. That's everything. We're going to sue. I don't wonder why federal employees think they are have a right to their job. They feel like it's our obligation to keep them employed. It's just very frustrating. It's my tax dollars. They get paid on average $100,000, about $106,000 each. I think there's some 2.5 million federal employees. I'm not talking about military. I don't think this includes military. And I think we spend $250 billion. They talk about chump change. Oh, that's just a little bit of money here or there. Let's just say it was $1 million that Elon Musk saved us. $1 million. Well, I pay taxes. And I'm telling you, it hurts. When they take my money, it absolutely hurts that they take it. I struggle to pay it every quarter. I just struggle. And yet I doubt if I've ever paid $1 million into it. So you're telling me that I have to struggle so they can waste $1 million that I will never see in my life. So, no, it's not chump change. It's huge. Every dime I feel the pain of. So when you're telling me $250 billion is being spent on federal employees and they can't even come up with a list of 5 things they did last week, go away. Well, they're saying, well, not every week do they have to work that hard. Some weeks are easier than others. Then it's not efficient. That's DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. Let's make the department efficient. If you're sitting around not doing anything for a week, getting paid, any corporation would eliminate that position. So it's a good thing, in my opinion. So if you don't want to fill it out, or you can't, maybe you just fill it out and say, hey, my position is kind of useless, but I don't want to get fired. I want to participate. Please give me some work I can do. I bet he would listen to that. Maybe it wasn't this person's fault. But no, let's sue. That's the thing we're going to do. So, it just aggravates me. Elon Musk did this at Twitter when he bought Twitter. I mean, he downsized it. I don't have the numbers. I used to have the numbers. But I mean, it was like way huge. 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 employees, and he knocked it down to like 50. And so it was huge. And he did the same thing. And of course, I'm going to sue. You can't fire me. I've been here forever. And I got seniority. And it wasn't even a union shop. And he got rid of the safe spaces and the quiet time spaces. And he got rid of the lunch room and the break room. And he got rid of bringing in, it was a lot, like, I don't know, $50,000 worth of food every day. Whatever it was. And he just stopped doing all that. Everybody went irate. But he kept the best of the best. And he's turned that into a profitable enterprise, is my understanding. It was losing money hand over fist. So this is how you do it. I've worked for companies before where it's not exactly what Elon Musk did, but you have to justify why you're there. I mean, heck, when the boss walks out on the floor and says, what are you doing? Standing around, you better have an answer, and it better be a good one. Otherwise, you're going... I remember one time, my boss told me I had to have safety equipment at each machine. And he walked out on the floor and he noticed that one of the machines did not have the safety equipment on it. And he yelled at me, in my office now. And what's wrong? There's no safety equipment on this machine. And he pointed to it. So I started heading to his office, and I knew I was getting fired. I mean, I just knew it. That was the end of my job. That minute, it was over. And we were walking side by side, and I said, it's right there. It was hanging on the machine where it was supposed to. Well, I know that wasn't there. Where'd it come from? I mean, he was just so mad. And one of my supervisors says, I was using it. Because the can had gotten stuck. It was a heat machine was what it was, and a propellant, you know, like a spray can had gotten stuck in there. And the safety equipment was that you had these poles and you knocked it out. She was using it. She was getting a can out. Hey, I'm going to interrupt this video real quick and ask you to, at the end of this video, click the up next box. It's going to take you over to my other channel. I'm so close to getting the watch hours I need. I'd really appreciate it if we could just get this thing over the top. Yes, you can get fired for anything. You better be doing your job. Look, here's the thing is I've been self-employed my entire life. Well, not my entire life, but most of my life I've been self-employed. And if I'm not performing, I don't make money. It's a constant push. And I've told you in the past that I have to pay more in taxes than anybody else, corporations. I pay 15% in Social Security, Medicaid. I know that's not a tax, I'm supposed to get that back, but they're talking about Social Security being bankrupt before I collect. They just brought it out the other day. It's like the year before I can collect, it's going to be bankrupt. If it doesn't get fixed. Now I know everybody's going to just say, well, it's going to get fixed. It always gets fixed. At some point, it's not going to get fixed. It can't. So I'm all for saving. Look, I've said it before. If every employee from the federal government got fired today, it wouldn't hurt my feelings at all. Look at all the employees that have already been fired. And I haven't noticed. It's not a big deal to me, so what? Hasn't affected my life at all. And they're just like, oh, this is going to shut you down. The government's going to shut down. And the Democrats are actually threatening to shut it down. Oh, well, that makes sense. You don't want to save money, but you're going to shut it down so we can save money. Shut it down. So I think the last time we had a government shutdown, the employees got to go home. Government shutdown. None of the offices were open, and so they didn't get paid. Let's say it was on the first of the month. They didn't get paid, but when they got back on the 15th, they got both paychecks. So they didn't have to do anything for 2 weeks. They still got paid. But I would have said no. I know that. Well, there are companies out there that do a yearly shutdown. They do inventory, especially for the automotive industry. They'll do a shutdown in December for 2 weeks. And either you have your vacation at that time or you just don't get paid. Now you can collect unemployment, but you don't get paid. So this is how the real world works. And I don't know why government workers feel like they can, I don't know, have a better in life than everybody else off my money. I mean, I am not a slave to my government. I shouldn't be. That's not the way it was supposed to be set up, but we are a slave. I said it in yesterday's video. If they have to hold a barrel of a gun to your head so you'll pay taxes, then it's a slave. There's no freedom in that. But when you're self-employed, well, 2008. And like I said, I worked for suppliers of automotive industry. And in 2008, the automotive industry just went bankrupt. I mean, it was terrible. And overnight, orders stopped for my suppliers. I remember the one in Troy, Wisconsin, I had a company. I've struggled to remember that company's name, but overnight, they stopped getting orders. I called them the end of that week, and they shut down. In 1 week's time, just shut down. Now, how does that make sense? I thought, if we have a right to a job, shouldn't, somebody have been paying them still? Who got sued? Nobody got sued. It's just the way it works. The federal workers, they don't have to go to work. They can stay at home, collect a paycheck. And then when somebody wants to fire them, I heard yesterday, it was incredible, a call-in show. And a guy said he didn't agree with Trump firing these employees, the bureaucrats. Because the bureaucrats are the experts, not the president, the bureaucrats. So there was a poll given to all the bureaucrats, and 55% of them said if they were given a lawful order by President Trump, and they didn't agree with it, they would not follow the order. 55% of them said that. Well, wait a minute. Trump is the president. So the United States people overwhelmingly voted for Trump to go into office, and stop spending money for some project. So, I mean, we can talk about all the ones that, you know what I'm talking about. Let's just say the ICE, you know, the people who protect the border, said, you know what? Heck with that old man. I'm going to let these people come right through. The people voted for Trump to stop the migration, but I said, you know what? No, I'm not doing it. And they just keep letting people through. And we're not allowed to fire them because the people who work in that bureaucracy are the experts, according to this guy. I can't even imagine. Can you imagine a new guy come in to an organization, he buys the organization, or there's a new CEO, and he wants to restructure it. Let's just assume for a minute that the company's going broke. I've seen this happen before. Company's going broke, so they do a complete restructuring. Get rid of management, especially upper management, bring in a whole new bunch of people, much like Elon Musk taking over Twitter, and they completely restructure the whole thing. Well, he comes out on the floor and says, no, that is not efficient. You standing there for 10 minutes waiting for the that equipment to come by so you can put a bolt on, that's not efficient. I want you to do 2 bolts. I'm not doing that. You can't make me to do that. Can you imagine a company doing that? They'd fire that guy on the spot. Yes, you are going to do it or you're going to leave. You can't fire me. I'm protected. So I'm telling you, I've said it many times, we all need to write our congressmen regularly, every day. Pester the heck out of them. Make them support Doge. And when Elon Musk sends a letter out on Saturday, I want every congressman, Republican congressman, and Democrat as far as that goes, getting on TV and saying, nope, we support this. We cannot have the bureaucracy running our lives. They're unelected and we can't control them. And they think that the president can't control them. The president, using ICE as the example, the president is in charge of ICE. That is his department. I don't know which department they work for. Probably, let's just call it Homeland Security. I don't know which one it is. Justice Department. I guess it's probably the Justice Department. So they work for the Justice Department. Pam Bondi is nominated by the Senate, or nominated by the president, confirmed by the Senate. She works for the Justice Department. She's the secretary of the Justice Department. And she tells ICE, the President of the United States wants us to stop the migration. And ICE says, no. Well, how do you have employees that can say no? And there's nothing you can do about it. So please, call your congressman. Tell them the bureaucracy has to end, because the congressmen, they're starting to waver. They don't like this stuff. They're kind of getting on TV and saying, you know, Musk is kind of pushing it too hard. He needs to slow down and these kind of things. If Trump does not get this accomplished quickly, he's going to lose support, and this whole effort will have gone to waste. We got to do it now. So just be aware that us little peons do have a say-so right now, a powerful say-so. We need to take advantage of it. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video on my other channel. We're working on a push more today. So I hope I can inspire you to call your congressman. We got to fix this now, so we live our dreams. Thanks for watching.